All right, here we are. I hope everybody's pulled together their supplies. And I need to bring y'all a little closer. You're too far away. All right. So we're going to go over just a few things before we actually get started on the project. I'm pulling inspiration from one of my art books. Hi, Mina. Hi, Mary. Part of last week's homework that Dee Dee gave was to make a list of all art books, pick one, and do something inspired. Well, this whole project is because Dee Dee got me to look through my books, and because of this book right here. It's called No Excuses Art Journaling, Making Time for Creativity, and it's by Gina Rossi Armfield. This is on Amazon. You might also want to check thrift books because, you never know when one might show up over there on thrift books. So that's why I'm doing this project, and I'm wanting you to use recycled materials. These are the dividers from my cat food, from the canned cat food. So that is what I'm going to use, and I'm using magazine cutouts. We're going to use washi tape and a variety of other things. Hi, Diana. All right. So I'm going to just kind of do an overview of the first part of the book, work our way through this book, but I'm not going to share the actual pages. I'm just going to share some of the ideas. If you want more in-depth, I would say get this book if you want to, or check your local library and see if they have it, or even see if you can request they get it in. You never know what the library might be willing to get in for you if you start showing enough interest. They might make more of an effort to get art books in if you for them. Unless you ask for them, they don't know. Okay. So I said hi, I think, to everybody that's here. So the first thing in the book, she talks about materials. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is make yourself some lists, or just go through and see what you have, okay? What materials do you already own? Which ones are your favorites to use? Those need to be the ones you reach for to do your journal, and then occasionally throw in the ones that you don't use. But to get started in art journaling, always use the supplies you have already, and utilize the ones that you enjoy the most just to get started. And then you can add on more later. The whole idea is to get you started in art journaling, right? So look at your materials. Which ones are your favorites? Lists that you might want to make. You might want to make a list of pens that you have. You might want to put a list of markers and pencils, whether they're graphite pencils or colored pencils or watercolor pencils. Just get in touch with your supplies that you already have. That's the biggest thing. All right. I've made notes on Post-its. Dee Dee would be proud of me. Hi, Vicki. And I think I said and there's Ann. Hi, Ann. Ann, I got to tell you about another recipe, but I'll tell you later, okay? Tonight in the room, I'll share the recipe with you. All right, more lists that you might want to make. Go through your inks. Now, when you hear inks, what do you think? Do you think liquid inks in a bottle? Do you think ink pads? Really think about what ink means in your mind, okay? And it could be, like I said, liquid in the bottles. It can be an ink pad. It can be a ballpoint pen. It can be a fountain pen. You got to think about what you have that you can utilize today to get started in art journaling, okay? Now, Gina in this book, Gina Rossi Armfield, she says to aim for waterproof inks. That way, if you write something and then you want to go in and do art with something, water or liquid, you're not going to disturb your writing that you've put all that effort into. So if you're writing something down that you want to be able to read later, make sure it is not water soluble, Okay, that's the only thing. If you're writing something important, make sure it's not going to smear when you hit it with like watercolor or something else. Okay. All right. Now she's talking about watercolors. And in here, she talks about what types of papers do you have on hand? Do you have cold press paper, a soft white paper, a bright color paper? You need to evaluate the watercolor paper that you have on hand. Or I would also say mixed media papers, okay? Because mixed media papers are mixed media. You can use either, but if you want a true watercolor effect, I would say watercolor paper. And I think Vicki would probably agree with that. If you're using watercolor, the best thing to use it on is watercolor paper. We're, of course, going to use some watercolor on our cardboard that we're recycling, because this is a recycled project that I'm doing, using this book as inspiration. So, woohoo! Watercolor brushes. Do you have brushes that are made strictly for watercolor? That's something just to look into. I know there are some paint brushes that will say you can use it in watercolor, acrylic, and oil, or just watercolor and acrylic. But in here, she said her favorite brush to always have on hand is, where is it? I wrote it down, I thought. She likes a round brush that are arranged in a circle with a pointed tip. But she has a favorite. Let me see, where's her favorite? Well, when I see it, I'll let you know. She does have a favorite watercolor brush. Well, maybe I won't share it this time. If I can find it, I will let you know. She recommends you use at least a 140-pound 300 GSM paper for your journaling if you're going to get, serious about it and you're not using a recycled thing. She does have a favorite brush. I can't find it right now. I'll talk about that tonight in the room. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm opening a room tonight in Phibbsville, and it's Gina Rossi Armfield, Vicki. And this is one that I had put on my list that Dee Dee wanted us to do last week. Yeah, and Vicki's saying mixed media paper will work fine for this type of project. So there you go. And Vicki knows. Y'all need to follow Vicki because she's on doing wild, crazy things sometimes, and sometimes it's really amazing stuff. You just got to see her technique. All right, bud. Don't forget your lunch. All right. Other materials what do you already have? Okay. When she says other materials, when Gina says other materials, do you have a hair dryer, spray bottles with water, craft knife, circle punch, double-sided? Look at your tools. Oh, thank you, Mary. Look at your tools. Look at your products that you have that you can use in an art journal. Double-sided tape dispenser, glue sticks, sponges, metal ruler, absorbent ground. Do you have stamp creating tools? She also mentions, and we might do this next week if everybody wants to or is inclined to. It's not going to be a mandatory type thing, but a lot of us already have the tools to create our own stamps. And one of the activities in the book is making your own stamp, whether it's a border stamp or just a little icon. Like I did a little person. And I love to use my little guy. It's just, oh, jeez. I don't know who that is. Just a little icon that denotes like a person that you're wanting to say this is about somebody or whatever, or a flower or whatever you want to do. Washi tape, life ephemera. Okay, that life ephemera is Gina lists as magazines, business cards, stickers, receipts, note paper, greeting cards, etc. So like if you're going to do something over the 4th of July weekend that's coming up, see what kinds of paper that you can bring home from the event, whether it's a napkin, maybe a paper menu from a restaurant that you might go to. You know, that they have the paper menus because everybody's ordering and having delivered at home, right? So they're there for you to take. So take a paper menu and utilize it. In next week, we'll be actually covering what we did over the 4th of July weekend. So this weekend, think about that and gather up stuff as you go over the weekend, and you'll have your supplies at hand with no effort, really. Okay? So just look at your tools and stuff. Okay, I made a note here. This book, The No Excuse Art Journaling, Making Time for Creativity, based on the use of a portable calendar, like she's got pictured right here. All right, she uses one of these calendars in this book. We are not going to do that. We're using recycled materials. Okay. So if you want to learn more about how to choose the calendar book, to turn it into a traveling kit and all of that, that information is in this book. We are not going to do that, but I wanted you to know it's part of this book. Okay. Chapter 2 is all about setting up your no excuse calendar art journal. Okay, and here she says add washi tape to denote the days. You can add envelopes. And that's one thing we're going to talk about real quick. You can make an envelope or just grab to hold your stuff. In the book, Gina calls it a nest. So I made this little envelope here, which I in my journal later if I want to, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to use this as a journal I'm working on. And when we're done, it'll be a complete journal. I'm not going to have additional envelopes, except I have an idea that's going to be in a future plan. But this she calls a nest, and it's just where you keep all your ephemera. You don't have to do a little envelope since we're not going to attach the envelope in the journal. Feel free to use a great big envelope, a big manila envelope, because I have these type things cut out, and that's not going to fit in that little envelope. So use an envelope that your ephemera will fit in there. Okay. So okay, she also has, if you buy the book, these scan the QR codes to download monthly inserts. So when you buy the book, you have access to these downloadable inserts. I'm not going to share because I feel like that's her property and I'm not going to do that. You can add watercolor paper to your calendar book. I'm just giving you the highlights. Chapter 3 is all about making your journal your own. And the first project is making your own stamps. Y'all already have handmade stamps. If you want to pull some out that say the month of July to you, feel free. Okay, you can add those to your pages anytime you want. We will do a stamp making activity possibly next week. Okay. So if you want to get a little kit, they usually come with one little sheet. If you get the carving kits, what are they called, y'all? Speedo? Is it Speedo or Speedball? Speedball kits. Thanks, Mary. If you get one of those kits by next week, it's not mandatory. Mary has taught us that you can also carve in those little white erasers, and it works really good. So even if you can go to Walmart and get a basic tool and then some of those white polymer erasers that Mary uses, we're going to do just a little stamp next week. I'm not real good at carving like Mary is, but I try. So that's the thing you can do is try. If you're not up to that, feel free to use stickers. How about that? That'll work. All right. And she just goes on and she talks about how to, if you're going to do word stamps, make sure that you make the reverse of them because you want the reverse on your stamp. But we'll go into that more next week. All right. So let's get started. I think what we're going to do, we've talked about creating. All right. I'm going to get us started now. And I told y'all I made a list and I put it on my community tab, which was right here. This is the list we had. Supplies needed for today was a page or two of recycled board that you've primed both sides. See, I've just put a light coat of gesso on each side. All right. What we're going to do, we're going to leave one side of it alone because that will eventually be your cover. So I don't want to put anything on it until we're ready to put it all together. So think about what you'd like on your cover. I think I'm going to put something to do with summer 2021 on the front of this, just so I know when we did it. I need to turn that autofocus off because it's driving me mad. Hang on just a sec, guys. Some people can deal with that, and I can't. Oh, and it's not going to let me. Why is it taking away that? Sorry, guys. It's taken that away, hasn't it? Yep, it has. Okay, sorry, I can't turn it off. I was hoping I could. All right, so take two of your pieces. And what we're going to do, I'm going to move some of this stuff off to the side here. Leave one side empty. And what we're going to work on is a double page spread. That's why I have two pages done on both sides. I like to put my holes in before I start working on the pages. That way I can make sure they're clear the whole way through, and then I'm not putting stuff in holes. So what I do to put the holes in, I'm going to just come in 1/4 of an inch. I can't even see that on there. Let me get a slide piece of the black paper under here. I'm going to come in 1/4 of an inch because when you do this, the binding method we're going to do at the end of August is called the slip knot. And you don't want to be too far from the edge. So I'm coming in 1/4 of an inch. And you have to decide, do you want it the binding to be on the long side or on the short side? Do you want your book to open up or to open like this? That is entirely up to you. So if you want to do your binding on this side, you can. I'm doing mine on the long side. And then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to connect the two little lines. And then find your center. If you have a centering ruler, that's awesome. If not, my piece is 7.5. So that would be 3 3/4, right? So make a little mark there and then make a little mark at 1 inch in from each end. And I only mark on one piece, and I'm using not the great big hole maker like this. I'm using the one that's probably about a 1/8. You don't want a great big hole. You just want to be able to get the thread through it. And I just use just a waxed linen. So I'm just going to put a hole right where the cross member is, like that. All right. And then put your two pieces together. I've got two that seem to be a little bit different size. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go with it. I'm just kind of centering my first piece. I might turn and make the taller one my cover. And then I just punch through the hole that's already made into the other piece. All right, so there's my holes. And then if I want to remember, just use the biggest piece here as my guide. I just want them all to meet because see, I've got more. I'm going to go ahead and put holes in one more piece. I said to have two ready, but if you have more ready, go ahead and put some holes in another one. That way you won't have to use a piece you've already worked on to put your holes on the next one. Does that make sense? All right. So that'll be my pattern for the next one. All right. So here we go. We're going to set this page aside. Okay. Hi, Janet Nash. Who all else has come in? Hi, Janet Baum. Thanks for putting the links in. And Mary said they're Pentel erasers for $1.48 at Walmart in the office supply area. And I need to make sure that the chat replay can play. I didn't realize you have to tell it to allow that. All right. So the first project we're going to do is something Gina Ahrens does on her channel and has done in the past, and a lot of other people do this too, is basically a color study, okay? So what I want you to do is get 3 of your magazine images that you've pulled out that you feel represent July, the month of July, okay? So let's see here. For me, it's summertime, so that's flowers. And it's time to relax. And see how the colors all kind of go together? That's what you're looking for. I've got a little butterfly here. And I said three images. All right. Try not to go over your holes if you can help it. And then I've got a picture of a lighthouse at the beach. All right, I'm going to take the butterfly away. I might use that on another page. All right. Now, I want you to look at these 3 pictures, or look at your 3 pictures. And I want you to pick out the colors and pull the colors from your acrylic paints or whatever you have that makes color. If you want to use pencils and just do some little squares of pencils, what we're going to do is we're just going to put some little squares, or you can take a stamp, a handmade stamp, a regular stamp. Just if you use stamps with acrylic paint, make sure you wash them right away. All right. So let me show you what I mean. So on this one with the couch, you've got kind of a blue-green. You've got a burnt orange. Yes, Mary, I'm using orange. You've got a lighter orange. I see a yellow. So let's pull those 4 colors. Or something real. It's close. Whatever you have, remember, use what you have and pull as close to those colors as you can get. And you're not going to use a whole lot of them. So you don't have to worry if you don't have exact colors. And then look at your other colors on your page. Okay, so I could almost use this one because it kind of goes. This is vivid orange, and there's some vivid orange in the sunset and a little bit on this cushion. So I'm going to use vivid orange. Let's pick out, let's do a half a dozen colors. Excuse me. So pick out 6 colors from your images and pull them together. I have a coral coral blush that kind of goes, and here's a yellow, but it's close enough to the yellow that's there and in the flowers, because see, I've got yellow there, I've got yellow there, I've got yellow there. There's the blue-green color there and on the couch, but it's in 2 different values. So you can find anything within those values. I'm talking too much, you guys. It's making me cough. I'm doing it for you. All right. This one's perfect. It's called Waterfront. I'm going to use that one. So I'm almost there. I think I should have a green because there's green here in this field of flowers and there's green on the stem. So I feel like I need a green. So here's a green. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I see a lavender in the sunset and on this flower. So I'll get a lavender. Now, over here to the side, figure out how to add your colors. Do you want to do just a square with your paintbrush and just put a little square down? Or do you want to do like a bank of circles? You could take something that makes a circle or a dot, even an eraser. You could put a little paint out and do little circles. You're going to just do them down the page. And I would say you can put them down any way you want, but my brain always goes with, it wants to do rainbow. So I'm going to get as close to rainbow as I can and just come down the side. And I think I'm going to pull something out of my bag of stuff. Here. Let's see. You know, it'd be really cute is if I just had a little teeny piece of flip-flop. Let's do that. I'm just going to cut a piece of flip-flop and use it as my my little square. I do have a cutting mat under this. It's not, I'm not on my table. Might be cute to have it like that. So see, now I made a little thing that'll have the tread of the flip-flop. Let's see how it works. And we are going to glue our pictures down. Maybe we should do that first. So use a glue stick, or if a sticker maker thing, you can turn them into stickers, which that's what I'm going to do because I got this at the thrift store, so I might as well use it, right? And the Xyron sticker maker thing. So this is a way for you to get used to color combinations. If you pull pictures that are in a magazine, somebody has taken the time to design that image or that color, and you might as well use it, and it's going to probably eventually end up in the trash if you don't use it, right? So how can I get this loose? Here we go. The problem with this is the magazine pages don't always want to come loose. Now, if you didn't want to leave the gesso background, you could paint your background. It was a children's flip-flop. Oh no, don't be sticking there. I think I'm crooked. Not going to worry about it. It's stuck down now. Why I feel like I'm in a rush all day long. I feel like I'm late. Don't you hate that? It's like I need to calm down. I don't know what's got me feeling like. And then I was late for y'all because it was like 3:15 and Greg was still asleep. And I asked him, I said, "Are you going to work?" Yes. I was like, well, you might want to get up. So you can choose if you want to put your row of colors that you've chosen down the side. You can put them across the top. You do your page any way you want, but this is how I'm doing mine. All right, so there's that. So let's put our little flip thing on here. I put this on here so you guys can see it. Just a little dab of the color. And then just do it on the page. There you go. So we've got orange on there. I need to clean this off. So get a paper towel. So if you're learning about color, magazines are a good way to learn which combinations go because somebody else has done all the thinking for you, right? All right, so now I'm going to put my yellow on. I don't think I need quite as much as came out with that other. So then I'll put this one right up next to it like that. I think I'll do a tiny little bit of green. Now think about what else do you have in your bank of supplies that you could add just little bits of. Because in doing this, if you wanted to, you could take the time to write what color this is. So if you wanted to, you could write vivid orange, cadmium yellow, and I'm using lime green. You could write those next to this. A key to this whole book that we're following along with, is she wants you to get comfortable with your own handwriting too. So any chance you have to add your own physical self to the page in your handwriting, do it. So if you wanted to, just in little letters, write it there, because we're going to put some other things on the page. And by doing a little page like this, you could do like one a month. If you were doing the calendar book, you could do a color inspiration page like this, or you could do one a week and then throughout the week utilize those colors in your art on art pages. Now, do you have to do just pages with me? No. You can, if you've got more of the same materials that we're doing these pages out of and you want to make more pages, you feel free. The slip knot binding will let you make a huge book. Y'all should see Anne's book she just put together from recycled Cheez-It boxes. It's huge. It looks amazing. And you should put a picture of that one up in Phibbsville so everybody can see it. Or if y'all can come tonight in Phibbsville, we're going to have a room at 7:30 until y'all get sick of me or Scott comes home. I might go silent on you for a little bit because my throat will probably be sore. But I'm really excited to do a big project like this for the summer. I did not mean to put that much paint out. I'm going to keep this paint out because I think I will put my colors on there. I'm trying to tap off some of this paint. I got a little too much. All right, one more. Is that right? I missed my coral blush, so it's going to be at the wrong end of the colors, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with it. And I've got all these cool colors on my drop paper. What you can do is grab a scrap and just pick them up with a scrap, and then you'll have another strip with those colors on it. Let's see here. There we go. That's good enough. I didn't mean to come down that far, but my bit of flip-flop. That's another thing. Flip-flops, if you guys can get them at the end of the season, look for the kid ones, because if you get the kid ones, then you can do like footprints all the way across your deli plate. And also look at the bottoms of them, because different manufacturers use a different pattern, so you can get a variety of patterns for real cheap. I think I paid 50 cents for this pair of flip-flops at the end of the season. So keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to put that aside. Grab a scrap of something here. I've got my scrap pile here. And I'll just lay this down. Whoops. And I can pick those up. I didn't mean to smudge it. All right, what else do you have that you can add color with? Do you have washi tape that's in these colors? Let's see if I have some. And then you can just put little bits of your washi tape down, like maybe over here. Make like a little banner of washies. So look at, I've got this greenish color. It's kind of the same, and I've definitely got that pinky peach. So just take a little piece of your washi. You might want to put glue down. Let me pick out several washies. Here's one that's got on it. That one. And doing this also, you have a record of which washies you have that you can pull from later. There is some black in this, so I'm going to pull that one out. And you just want a few of them. This has got some cool letters on it. They all kind of go together. All right, I'm going to put some glue down, and I'm just going to use this Scotch Create permanent glue thing because I have it. Just put a little bit down and pick a washi. And it doesn't have to be a great big piece either. And you can trim whatever sticks off the top off. Maybe put this piece so it overlaps it. Let's see here. Let's use this one. Getting a little bit down on my picture. So we did that one. And Janet Nash was doing a washi tape swap on Monday mornings. You have to show up on Monday mornings to get in on it. I don't know if Janet is still here or not, but you might want to check out Janet Nash on Monday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern. She comes on. Basically, this activity is just to get you connected with your own supplies, basically. You know, if you don't know what you have, you really are at a loss, because you're probably only using half of your materials because you don't take and experiment with them. So take some time to experiment with what you already have. I just stuck my arm. I'm now purple. I guess it's all right. I can be purple, right? And if you wanted to take the time to, you know, make these all matchy-matchy perfectly, you could. I think I need to put Bernadette out real quick. Let me finish my strips of stuff. And if you didn't want to put this many, you don't have to. I was just trying to, this is such a cool one, but I can't find the end of it. Look, it's got letters on it. Isn't that cool? Let me use this one since I can't get that one loose, and I'll go let Bernadette out. All right. And you can trim away the extra at the top if you want to. All right. I'm not going to worry about that one because I can't get it apart. All right. I'm going to give you guys a chance to catch up. I'm going to let Bernadette out. And then if you have any questions, now would be the time to put them in, because that's the next thing I'm going to do is look for questions. So that's basically the page room here, because I want to write these color names in. Oh, the catnip got spilled on the table. They'll be up there in a minute. Bernie, you go out, honey? Yeah. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I know. I forgot about you. I'm sorry. Got busy. All right. I'm going to set that aside, and I've got the colors here. I'll add the color names because I might write right across the colors because I'm down here. I'm kind of in it. But that's the first page we're going to do. Feel free to add anything else. Like if you want to, instead of writing the color names down, if you want to take something else that you have of colors like markers, and try to get as close to these colors and just add a little bit more. It's no biggie to add more to it. So that's page 1. So now we're going to work on our facing page here, which mine is a little shorter, but I'm not going to worry about it. And we're going to do another activity. Okay. So let's set this one over here. I will look for questions. So does anybody have any questions right now? From that first activity, did you enjoy trying to pull colors out of the magazine pictures? Yes, you can use scrapbook images. You can use any images that you can pull colors ideas out of. The whole idea is to see the colors and to see how they're combined and how they work. Oh, I'm so glad. Hi, Sherry. Who all else? And Mina? All right. So is everybody's good? Everybody's good. All right. Now this next activity we're going to do on our next page. The first thing we want to do is divide your page up. One section has to be 4 by 3 inches. So you need a space that's about 4 by 3 inches. So what we can do is if you come up from the bottom 4 inches and just make a little mark, and then in from the side at 3 inches and make a little mark. That's good enough. All right. Now we're going to divide the page up. So get some of your washi. We're going to divide your page up into 3 sections. Okay. So you'll want the 4 by 3 section. That's going to be for a separate little project that we're going to attach to the page. Then you'll have a narrow section here and a big section at the top. I'm going to use, because it's July and it's America's 4th of July celebration, independence, whatever, is this next weekend. I can't believe the 4th of July is this weekend. To stay and keep this spot open at 4, you need to line your side of your washi tape up with that little line you just made there and there. The rest of it is all good. Okay. So I'm going to do, sounds like awful, but I'm going to do a line of glue here. But y'all know what I mean. Anyhow, I'm just going to do a little bit of glue to help hold the washi tape on, because we know it's all great. And I might go ahead and put my line for the one up and down, because I'm going to use the same washi tape. And if I put the one up and down first, then I can hide the boo-boo end underneath the one that goes across the middle. So I'm going to put that one there, that one there. Excuse cat hair. Cat hair happens around here. Might save that washi on the side of the thing. All right, so we've got this page divided up. Again, if you wanted to paint your page before you divide it up, feel free, but you don't have to. All right, so we've got our page divided up. All right. Now, one of the things I told y'all to have was a little piece of watercolor or mixed media paper. Hi, Artist Resource. Okay, so I said to have an ATC sized piece of watercolor or mixed media. Okay, so here we go. We're going to set our page aside because we're going to do a little, this is something you could do every day, just a little quick watercolor. It doesn't have to be anything magical or any of that, but that's what's going to live right here. Now, if you want to, you can give it a background. So I was thinking we could cut a 4 by 3 by 4 piece of a red, white, or blue and use it as our background and just glue it down. If you want to paint this section, you can. You can paint your sections different colors along with the July theme. You can maybe even go back to your page 1 if you wanted to and pull a color out but it's going to kind of fight with my washi tape, right? So that's why I'm leaning toward it. But if you used washi tape that corresponded with what we did on this page, you'd be all set. You could use those colors again on this page. I'm just using this because we got the 4th of July coming up. So, all right, so I'm going to do a little watercolor, but I think I'm going to go ahead and paint this background with the blue that's real close to the blue. And I might go ahead and do maybe red up here or white. I'll do white up here and get this real white with paint and just try to stay off my washi tape, and then maybe do the blue over here. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see here. I don't want too big a paintbrush because I want control. And I'm going to do cinnamon drop and bluebird and a white. I'm going to use a cool white. I think I'm going to do the white at the top because part of this page is going to be the circles I told y'all to oh, okay, thank you. The circles I told y'all that to punch out and have ready, I'm going to put some of those up here. Circle collage, and all that is you just do rows of circles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and paint white, blue, no, red and blue on here. Put a little red out here. So you do your pages. I will look forward to anybody that can come to Phibbsville room at 7:30 tonight. I would love to see your pages. If you're not comfortable with Facebook or being on camera or any of that, you can point your camera at your table and just show your pictures, or you could share them on a video of your own if you do videos. You could share them in Phibbsville. If you're not comfortable with the room, but you're still a member of the room, you could put a picture up in there. I'm not real concerned that my pencil line is showing through here at all. It proves it's handmade. I don't know why I'm standing. I could sit. It's just been one of those days. I felt so hyper. Oh, and I made the best recipe today. I can't wait to show Ann or tell Ann about it. But I bought a cookbook. I'll talk about it as I'm painting. I bought a cookbook that's called Forks Over Knives, and it's basically a vegetarian cookbook. But you guys, no recipe in that cookbook has been bad. Everything we've tried has been delicious. Today we did the vegetable fajitas. They were a lot of work, but they were so good. I had to grill those great big mushrooms. Oh, why can't I think of what they're called? I just cooked some. I think it's because my brain's on speed or something. I don't know. Really, I didn't even have 2 cups of coffee today, and I'm just feeling blah, 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 spastic. But you grill those great big flat mushroom tops, portobellos. Yes, portobellos. You grill them, and then you cook up a red onion and a red bell pepper, and it has all kinds of garlic and jalapenos, and the flavors just melded together so well. We were just, Scott said, oh, this is so good. And I made homemade salsa. I made a homemade tofu sour cream. which was really good. Hi, Amy. Didn't see you sneak in. All right, I'm going to get this painted and then set it aside. And then what should we paint on our watercolor paper that would say the 4th of July? If you guys want to throw out some ideas of what we could paint, that would be awesome. I want more than that. I think I might need these. It was amazing. Scott says, you've got to make these again. I said, did you see how long I was in the kitchen? I was in the kitchen. I was running outside. I was starting the grill. I was running back in. I was cutting up stuff. But they were worth it. They were so worth it. I picked a color that's just about empty, so I'm playing paint roulette here. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to do the whole section, but I guess I could do like Mary and just turn it into kind of cloudy background, add some white, and I'd be all right, right? Because, you know, sometimes there's a few clouds in a blue sky. But it is like Anne was saying, she also bought the book that goes with it, which I also have. It's Forks Over Knives is a really, I don't want to say a diet plan, but it's a plan for life, of eating better. I have so much more energy. Maybe that's why I'm like a squirrel today and just have all this energy. I need to use it up. My blood sugar, you guys, my blood sugar was only 104 this morning. I couldn't believe it. It's been years since it's been that low in the morning. I can't say enough. And I'm not paid to say it or anything. I say that cookbook and that plan are just so good. It's called Forks Over Knives, meaning you don't need a knife to cut a vegetable like you do meat. Now, that's not to say we don't pick up, you know, when you're out to eat occasionally. We had subs yesterday and turkey on mine, which I know I could have done a veg sub, but when you order just a vegetable sub, people look at you weird. It's funny enough at the grocery store. It's like when I put the green stuff up on the conveyor, I always get this weird look from the cashiers. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. There we go. Now I got blue. By golly, got more blue than I needed. If your 2 pages aren't melding to suit you, add a little something from the first page to the second page. Like I've got that butterfly that kind of goes with the stuff on the first page, but that I was thinking I'd make just fly around on this page. So did anybody say anything about what we could do as our watercolor? I know I'm like all over the place. Sorry about that. I need some water or something. You get the veg subs all the time? I think I'm going to start doing that because since we've been eating very little meat anymore, I don't even like it. I think this might be the key to me and Scott getting healthy again. He's starting to look like he's losing weight, although it's not showing up on the scale, but the area of his upper chest, it looks thinner. So I don't know. Maybe the pounds will fall off eventually. But right now, I'm just tickled that both of our blood sugars coming down. And my goal is to just be successful in one area of health. And if we can get our blood glucose under control, that's a big thing, because when you let your blood sugar get out of control, might sound like I'm up on a soapbox, But when it gets out of control, it really messes up so much more, you guys. Your heart, your eyes. I think the whole reason I've ended up, I used to have 20/20 vision, and now I have to have the glasses, and I'm convinced it's due to the diabetes. It has to be. I might put these butterflies on here. Oh, Amy, see, we want all the hot stuff. That's what was funny about this, the vegetable fajitas that I made today. It said 2 jalapenos seeded, and I'm like, we ain't seeding them. We're gonna have both jalapenos with all the seeds. We love hot stuff, though. Not everybody does. I love it, though. All right. So that little red space that I've left there, whoa, where's the white? Oh, I put it on the page. The little red spot that we have left over here, that's where we need to put our quote. Because I said, have a poem or quote. If you had trouble finding something that it had to be about, it could be about the 4th of July, or it could be just about the month of July. So what I did is I just put in the search engine, I put July quotes about July. And of course, you know, you get the ones all about freedom and independence and all of that. But I also found some others, and I've printed them off. And don't be afraid, if you've got a printer and all, to go ahead and make your own stickers. If you don't like your handwriting, you're not comfortable with your handwriting yet, hopefully by the end of August, we'll get you all into liking your handwriting, or even just learning a new alphabet. Like last week, we learned about doing the different lettering. Nettie's husband knows a lot about lettering. He makes signs. He does the signs. So there's all kinds of lettering out there. Don't be afraid to go and look up lettering. Yes, Janet Nash did the Broadway lettering. So this needs to dry. So while this is drying, let's do our little watercolor. Okay. You do not have to have expensive watercolors. Okay. If you want to, you can do a basic sketch of what do we want to do? We could do a firework. We could do a flag. You could do, what else says July? Picnics. We could do a big ant. It just has to be a quick little watercolor. You don't want to spend a ton of time. I got too much paint there. This needs to set aside to dry. This is how I get the pretty drop paper that I turn into cards. Is you just spread the paint out. All right. Keep my scraper there. All right. I'm going to grab my cheap watercolors. If you've got watercolor crayons, you could use those. But the best ones for a quick and easy is just some Crayolas in a pan. The paintbrush for these is not in here, of course. That's okay. If you wanted to, you could just do some watercolor flowers. I don't know if this one's for watercolors. It's a Craft Smart brush. So this is just, I think it's Crayola, or it might be even something else. I think it's a no name. I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to just spray in them to get them going. All right. Ooh, and an ice cream cone. Oh, the baby's coming to see you. That's cool. So Janet says fireworks, stars, flags, the beach, barbecues, picnic. So think about something you want to do on your ATC and just do it. It's supposed to be a quick, so let's not think about it too hard. Well, I've got flowers on my other page, so I'm leaning toward doing something flat with flowers. Okay. I'm just using the pencil to give me some guidelines here. So y'all just play and bear with me while I work out what I'm doing here. I don't like that. That ant looks bad. Let's just do a little flower pot. Maybe with another little flower down here, just laying here on the side. I could have come down farther, but that's all right. I'm going to use the... Oh, Gigi had to go? Okay. I'm going to just get the flower pot area wet. This water's not the cleanest that I'm using, but... All right, we'll let that wait just a second. Watermelon. Oh, that would have been pretty. Are you going to do a watermelon? That would be really pretty. The pink and with the black dots. Oh, that would be real pretty. But I'm already doing a flower, so I guess I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to change my mind. I could flip it over, I guess, and do it on the other side. Like this, so. All right. I think I'm going to do a red vase. Pick up some of this paint. It's really red. Let's see here. I'd love to see it. That'd be awesome. I've been toying with the idea of doing some really late nights, like come on after Beth on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A lot of time I just put Beth on and have her talking in the background. And I just don't chat. But I am there. I just don't chat. By the end of the night, most of the time I'm like vegetative state. But I was thinking some impromptus real late at night, which wouldn't be real late for Sharon Lombard and Kathy and some of the other gals on the West Coast. I mean, 10 o'clock for me is there, what, 7 o'clock? So I was toying with that idea. Remember, you can build color up when you watercolor. I think I'm going to let this just sit and leave it alone, let it work. And I'm going to do the flower. Let's see. I want to try to stay away from the red for a minute. I'm just going to wet the petals here. What color should the flowers be? And I feel like I need to put something else on here because I've got all that open space at the bottom. This paintbrush is getting on my last nerve. I don't know why I picked this one. I could get up and go get some more. Should I do blue flowers? Or yellow? I could do yellow. I think I'll do yellow. My yellow's kind of contaminated, so I don't know what it's going to look like. Orange. Ew! Y'all are just saying that because you know orange is not my favorite color. So we're going to do this little watercolor and add it to our page. And then I had, what was the other thing I said? We've got to put our little poem or saying on. And I've got mine as a printout. I did a list of them. And I'll tell you what those are. Let me finish these flowers. And if anybody doesn't have a poem or quote ready to go, feel free to snag one of the ones I found. Or Mina had one that she said she was going to use. If she wants to share it, she can. I almost feel like I need more flowers. Maybe do a bouquet instead of just a couple flowers like this. But it is supposed to only be a quick watercolor. Oh, okay. That'd be great, Mina. All right. I'm gonna let that dry a minute, and I'll share the quotes or sayings that I found. And you can stick one of your sayings if you have more than one and you want to. You can stick a saying on your first page too, or you can add words that mean July to you on your other page. Like on my other page, I think I'd put relax and the lighthouse safety, that kind of thing. I think this is the quote I'm going to use. I think I can make it fit in that little red spot. Hello, July. Open our eyes to the beauty of the world. Bring more happiness and peace in our lives. And I think that's the one I'm going to use. This one says, goodbye, June. It's a new month with new hope and new spirit. Hello, July. Please be good to me. I thought that was cute. And then here's one I might add to my first page. It says, sunshine on my mind. And then the last one I did up a sheet. See, I'll do these sheets. Sometimes I'll do a whole great big sheet, and then I'll print it on stick paper, and then it's ready to go. Yes, the pages have all been pre-gessoed ahead of time. This one says, hello, July. Ice cream, seashells, and flip-flops. Nuff said. I like that one too. So I'll set those aside. Let's put some green on here. I might get a different brush. I don't know if this one's any better or not. We'll see. I could bring the water closer to me too. Getting a sore throat, you guys. Talking too much. All right, let's do some green. Oh, you know what? I didn't. Oh, and I didn't do that flower. That's not. We'll meet in Phibbsville tonight. Hi, Shelly. So Phibbsville tonight, 7:30 for Craft and Chat. We'll share some things. We might do another page together. I don't know. We'll see what we do. I'm not sure how long I'll last, but the room will be open and anybody can use it. I am discontinuing mine on Friday until I see how I manage basically being online twice in one day. So, but Anne is also continuing her room in her group on Thursdays. So tomorrow morning, Anne will be on. I might do the stems in a different color. It looks like an aloe vera. The flowers are springing from an aloe vera. You just didn't know aloe veras. Tonight it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Phibbsville. And it's called, I think, Phibbsville Crafts or Phibbsville Chat and Craft. I thought about calling it Wednesday after the show, but wasn't sure if that would go. And yes, Anne says she'll be opening her room at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I really do feel like I need to put something along the bottom. I'll be right back with you guys. Just taking a break from talking. I feel like it needs something else. Janet Nash above, please. Okay, Janet, that's no problem. That's no problem. If you come tomorrow to Ann's for a little while, we'll just share. We can do that. All right. So I'm going to set the little watercolor aside and let it dry, and then I'm going to do some marker work on it. You know, just outline it and maybe add stuff. Hi, Barbara Clark. So if you want to pull your second page back over, the one you divided up with your washi tape. I'm going to set my watercolors somewhere where they can dry open so they don't get all icky. All right. So I'm going to cut out my saying and see if it'll fit where I want it to fit. And I even found I could add little, I used to call it clip art. I guess it's still clip art, but I found a bumblebee, so I added a bumblebee to my quote. And I guess I could have used my cutter to make it more square. But yeah, I think it'll fit right there just fine, just barely in before I get to the hole. Maybe I'll center it between the two holes where we're going to run the string through, so I'll still be able to read it easily. But then see, it needs something else above and below it. You could add more washi, I guess. Got one of these butterflies. I might stick him down at the bottom. I don't know. I've got the little bee there though. And at the top, we're going to do the little little circles up here. I don't know what I got right there. But I said just little circles that you could punch out. You could add little images. Like I've got these couple riding a bicycle. I might just add that right there after I put my ATC down there. So it looks like they're riding across the bottom. But you can use all your stuff you punched out and stuff. I've got little bees, and I've got green, and there's a lemon. I had something that looked like lime. Here it is. Because for lemonade and bees and red, white, and blue. So I could do, there's the blue, and there's a red, and I guess the bumblebees could be my white. Red, white, and blue. And then this row could be lemonade, and this was some kind of dessert. There's some more bumblebees. Maybe put the bumblebees. There was one of those that had a flower on it. I might just put the yellow with the lemon on the bottom. There we go. But play with whatever circles that you, the red square has my quote. But you can set yours up any way you want to. The little artist trading card, the quick watercolors, you can add them anywhere you want to too, if they'll fit. I mean, if you wanted to turn it this way, you could fit it there. But I just thought it would be neat this way. I'm really leaning toward maybe just chopping mine off and making it smaller and maybe add a border on it. So those are some things I was going to play with there. I'm wanting more color, so let's leave the flower and the lemon. Let's add a green in between these two. And you can line your circles up any way you want to. Once you get your idea of how you want your circles put down, then you know what? Let's take the bees. I'll hold the bees for something else. And I need another blue here because I've got a white background. So red, white, and blue. And then colors of summer is green and the lemon and the flower. I think I'm going to leave it like that. We're going to glue these down. And then around them, just do some doodly circles. But you want to, on the edge of your page over here, so leave room where you can write July right here. In fact, you might want to do your writing first. I might put the bees with the flowers down there. So I'm going to write July out, and I'm going to use a Posca pen. But you can use whatever you have that works good on paint. A Bic pen works real good on paint. Janet, you can actually do whatever you want. If you have enough circles that you could overlap them like a rooftop, you could probably do this whole section like that. And that would turn this into what would look like a beach, one of those beach houses. That could be cute too. Y'all play with your pages any way you want. These are just ideas. So I'm going to use black ink, and I'm going to write July. And I'm going to use that, I think the Broadway Lettering. I wish I'd left that book out. Let's see if, oh, here it is. Let's see what lettering is in here that might be cool. Oh, I like that one, but I don't think I want too much time to do it right now. I really like that Broadway Lettering. The doodle letters are really cool where you doodle in them, but that takes a lot of time. I mean, you could write your word out and then take your time and doodle fill in your letters. They call that confetti, I think. The stitched up letters that's in here. Let me turn back there. These, you use two different tips. So you write the letter and then you take a finer tip and you put a dotted stitch line. Wish the stupid camera would stop. See the stitch lines? So those are fun too. Feel free to go online and do a search for creative lettering. Pleased at what you find. Right, so I'm going to do July here. So they say do your letters. Come on, write. Just flat out do July. J, U, L, and Y. And then you come back in and you add a second letter, a second line. So like on the J, you just come down here and added a line there. And then on the U, they added a line here. And the L, and then the Y, they just added it on the back side. And then I'll let that dry, and I'll put, maybe use red inside so it pops. Let me see. I think I have a red. It's not a true red, but I know I don't think I have a blue. I've got this Posca red, and maybe add some white. Oh, the background's white. Oh, I do have a blue. I think I'll use blue because this comes out pink. I don't really want pink. What time is it? How are we doing on time? It's 5 o'clock already. Whoop! I blew all my circles away. I am going to stick them down. Let me I'll get my sticker maker again. This is the little X one that, a Xyron X machine, I think it's called. And put one piece in and pull it down. And it just puts stick them on the back. Now you can get these machines that do a laminated surface, which I did not realize and accidentally bought one. And it turned out to be the best thing to use on those found relatives, because, you know, those are done with watercolor. But if you print them off and then put them through a Xyron with that laminated top, then your watercolor, your printed off surface can't be, it doesn't get activated when you come across it with something wet. And I sent some to Barb Owen, and she's been using them in her journal. And she thought that was a neat idea. So, all right. I think my little bicycle people will fit through there. Oh, and this little guy, my quote will fit through because it's less than the 1.5 inches, I think you have to have. So I'll run that through. Will they fit? I want to trim them down just a little bit more. So how is everybody doing with their pages that's playing along? Have you run into any kind of trouble? Have I left something out that you feel like I should have mentioned or would be beneficial to know? Just want to make sure I'm covering everything. I went looking for a July 4th themed magazine, you know, like Better Homes and Gardens or Good Housekeeping or Woman's Day or any. Did y'all notice that there's no red, white, and blue covers this year? Okay, Mary, that's fine. I just couldn't. I went to the grocery store this morning thinking, oh, I'll be able to pick up a magazine that has all of the 4th of July images on it. So I'm really thinking for next week, so that we are taking note of how we spent our 4th of July, that we're going to have to really, you know, plan to keep things like if you go somewhere, keep your gas receipt. That's something that can go in a journal. It seems silly, but if you keep the receipt, probably it's going to get damaged. Heat will probably negate it, but you could write on there, I paid such and such a gallon for gas. And then in years ahead, you'll think, I only paid, you know, such and such for the gas. Wow, I wish I could get gas for that now. It's like when Greg was born, we saved the newspaper, and he was born on a Sunday. So it was a big newspaper. I have the newspaper from then. And when you save the newspaper from the day your baby's born, you get to, especially if they're born on a Sunday or a Wednesday, you get the ads. So you know how much things cost and in that time. And it's kind of interesting to do. If you don't have one of those machines, you can just use the glue stick. All right, so I'm going to stick my circles down. I think I will trim this and add a border and some stuff to it. Put my circles in here. Kimberly! Hi, Kimberly. I might mix up the red and the blue. Ooh, that poor child is not going to be able to hear with the way he comes through that thing. I keep wanting to tell him, honey, you're not going to hear a thing when you're 45, 50 years old. But, you know, they got to learn. Usually the hard way. I think I will mix them up. So we're working on a journal project for anybody that just came in. And Becky's been talking her head off. So If I sound a little croaky, it's because I've been talking nonstop. I think I'll put the other blue one on this top. And Anne will have her room open tomorrow for anybody that wants to come and play. We have a lot of fun in the rooms. Projects. Sometimes we're all working on different things. Sometimes we decide to do things together. Like last week, Anne taught us how to do aluminum foil printing. I keep telling her she needs to do a video so you guys can see it. Hint, hint, hint. And yeah, we had a big time. And Anne, I missed you Monday night, and I don't know why. I think we just had a weird week. Oh, and good news. Has not one, but 2 in-person interviews. One on Thursday, one on Friday. Isn't that great? I think it is, because he's really not happy where he is now. Okay. I can stick my other things down here and I'm gonna put my quote on here. Cool. Janet has found this book that is the basis for my inspiration for doing this project at Walmart. Do you know how much it is at Walmart? Oh, well, there she goes. She put the link in. This book is available at Walmart. So, yeah. All right. I haven't really read ahead, but what I will do is I will, like I did on this week, I will create a supply list for next week. Oh, this bees would be cute right there with those bees. But I like my little guys there. And I will put it on my community tab. I will put it in Beth's room. I'll put it in Phibbsville, and I'll put it in my room. Because I think that's where all the crossover is right now between our groups. So that's why I've been putting them where I have been putting them. I have to be quiet to color in so I can stay in the line. So remember, if you want to do this project and you go back from the beginning, what we are using is recycled materials, and you need 2 of about the same size. I've ended up with one page is bigger than the other, but I'm just making the bigger one my outer, so I have my cover. And what you're going to do is on 2 facing pages. So here's the first page, which I still need to trim up, and my lighting is changing because the sun has moved. So this was our first page we did, and it was basically a color study. And you can decorate it up even more if you don't like the white background, which I went very white with the very light with the gesso. I could have made that background a deeper color, like white, like this one, by just going over it with white paint. But I didn't do that. I probably will for the upcoming pages, just so everything is more visible. I'm trying to get the little bits of washi off my fingers. And we need to put some doodly circles around that and use a big pen. Big pen will write over the paint. And they just show in that book, she just did like this around them. But you can go around your circles any old way you want, or if you want to just leave them plain, you can. I just think maybe do some hash marks on some of them. I like to do that too. You could add dots. Just play with your doodles. Just doodle away. All right. I'm gonna trim my ATC down because I didn't fill it all the way in. But that's just my brain tells me that that's unused white space that's not needed. So I'm going to trim it away. If you filled yours up, you don't have to trim it. Whatever you've got on your paper that works for you. I took off about, 3/8 of an inch. Just so it will go on there. I might bring this down and then I could add something here if I wanted to. But I want to play with this watercolor a little bit more with the big pen. Free shipping, $20 in free shipping for the book. Again, also check with thrift books and who else? A discount bookseller. I rarely pay full price for a book. I always look for the other availables for the secondhand. I don't mind if I get a used book. I look at the thrift store for used books and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, I'm going to just doodle this up. Get the doodly lines in, and then maybe it won't look like aloe vera anymore. I get this page put together. I think we're going to call it for today. And then everybody can go and get dinner and maybe go potty break and all that kind of good stuff and meet back in Phibbsville. I just think it'll be a lot of fun to get together. Again, it's not recorded. I don't record the rooms. I want those to be like safe houses for us to get together in and just feel free to be ourselves and expand on an idea that's been shared in a video with any of us. If Mary has done something recently and she's there and you have questions, that is the perfect time to ask, because you can ask out loud and she hears you. It's very hard to catch the chat question. Very is. In the typed section, I will also say, if you don't want to be heard on the chat, there is a bubble that you can click on to type in stuff. I do try, if I'm hosting a room, I do try to watch the chat bar as well so that I can read a question out loud to those that are there in case they miss it. But you will find that the rooms are so free-flowing and easy. It's just like meeting up with friends and, for coffee, and you're sitting there and everybody's talking and joking and having a good time. And out of the blue, we'll do a separate lesson plan, like Anne taught us that aluminum foil printing, which is really fun. If Anne does her video on that, hint, hint, that might be something you want to do, to make just a little image or two to have in your nest of material that you could add to your book, So there's always possibilities to collect things to put in an art journal. You can make your own. That's something we might do tonight in the room, is just brainstorm ways that we can make our own ephemera. I've painted little houses on book pages. They turn out so cute. I've done ladies on book pages, but you just have to keep in mind we're working on a very small surface. So anything you do needs to fit in the confines of your spaces. And each week, one page will be divided into different sections. I don't think we necessarily need to do a watercolor every week, but maybe you have a doodle that you would like to add to your page. That's something, if you can't collect stuff from the 4th of July for next week, doodle something, or pick up a business card from someplace that just looks cool and stick it in there. Some people go do a lot of artwork on their business cards, you guys. So keep an eye out for business cards. I know a lot of the places around here, like small diner type stuff. This was more true in Greenville than it is down here in the Columbia area. But like the coffee shops and stuff would have a cork board where people could put their business cards up, like the guy that does tree root stump grinding, or the guy that comes around and picks up the doggy poo. Sometimes they have like just really cute business cards that you might want to add to your page to hold on to in case you need their services. Then it's there in your journal. You got their phone number and address, which if you're going to share that in a picture, you might want to take the time to put a piece of Post-it over it. You know, I know they are businesses, but they're local businesses, so they might not want, you know, somebody in California calling them to, you know, that's what I'm saying, to grind a stump or whatever. But really think about how you can collect ephemera. You can keep the stamps off your mail. If you get an interesting advertisement that's just got some real pretty color in the background, punch it out. Punch circles, punch some kind of shape out. I know our Janet Nash loves hearts. So Janet, you could cut hearts out of your junk mail and use it like this. If you wanted to punch out colors that you've pulled from here, and you have some magazine background, I have found the easiest way to punch out magazine images and background is to pair it with a piece of cardstock. That way you've got some firmness there. If you try to just punch magazine paper on its own, it will just fold and rip, and it's not a good thing. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Teresa. But another thing, if you are just wanting the background color on a magazine, if you fold it twice, so fold it in half and then fold it again on itself, your punch will go right through 4 layers of magazine paper, just an FYI. It's tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Is the Fibsville chat room. Is tonight at 7:30 p.m. So in 2 hours. So I want to finish this up. So keep an eye out. If you get something cool in the mail, if you want to just share a little bit of somebody's happy mail to set aside for this art journal, feel free to do that. I'm just going to add a little border here because I think it looks cool that way. Uh-oh, why is it stopped writing? Why isn't it writing there? Here we go. And because I painted this, I'm going to sign and date it. And that way I'll know what day this page was done too. Why is this not wanting to do? There must be something on this paper. I mean, there's nothing on here. It's just paper. Isn't that crazy? Never had a Bic pen do that before. See if it's because of what's on the background. I'm going to wear a hole through the paper. Okay, that's weird. Let's get another one, see if it'll do any better. Let's see. Will you write, please? Thank you. I'm just going to put the date on here because this is my journal. I'll remember. It is June 30th, 2021. I guess I could put my signature on the bottom. Could do it on here. I don't like that tip on that one. It's too fat. I'm going to run this through the Xyron so I can turn it into a sticker. Yep, Phibbsville room is tonight at 7:30 Eastern, and then Anne has her room tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. I think. Anne will have to verify, but I think that's what she said. Oh, and I've got my little people on a bicycle. So anything that screams July is going to be on these two pages, or basically just what does the summer mean to you? Is what my first page is just about summer, really. You have more time to sit on your porch. There's my little watercolor. And then I've got this little guy here. And I've got stick them on my finger. And I was going to write my colors on here. That was the other thing I was going to do. That pen is acting up. So now I'm wondering, what should I do to add my color names? Ooh, I ripped his head off. That's never good. All right. I've got the bicycle loose. It's a bicycle built for two. Can you still buy bikes for two people? They're called tandem bikes, aren't they? I don't know if Scott and I could do that because he's so easily distracted. He might like steer me somewhere I didn't want to go. So feel free to add anything else you want to, but this is basically where I'm going to leave mine. I thought about using this little circle of bees, but I might just leave it. I think I'll leave it. But I want to write my color names on here. Let's see. Vivid orange. And this is just to get you used to looking and seeing your own handwriting. Because you should get comfortable with your own handwriting. Cadmium yellow. Lime green. Waterfront. Waterfront and lavender. And then the last color I used over here was coral blush. I'll have to turn this one this way. Coral blush. All right. So I hope you guys had fun doing the pages. And again, if you're going to do it later, make sure you do a 2 facing page spread. And first cover this alone, because this is going to be your cover. And we're not going to decorate it until we're all done with our pages. And then we'll decorate our covers and tie it together as our last activity for this project. This will continue through July and August. Okay? I will see some of you in a couple hours. I'm going to go rest my voice and get some more to drink. My little light over here with Beavis and Butthead has been blinking up a storm, which means I haven't drank enough. So thank you guys so much. Give me a couple days to read through a couple more chapters and decide what we're going to do. And I will put the supply list up on my community tab as well as in several groups. And I have had a blast. You can tell because my throat is really sore. All right. So thank you guys so much. I'm so glad everybody's having fun with this. I love to work on a project along with folks. So I'll see some of you later. Bye.